guys, it's Tam. I hope you're having a wonderful, 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 spectacular day, night, wherever you are. Today I am going to be doing some absolutely wonderful life quotes and phrases that are so awesome. I love these quotes. A lot of them I live by. Most of them I have told my kids over and over to where if I start one, they'll finish it. I asked my husband if he knew of any, and he has contributed as well. So this is sort of like a little ramble for you guys of wonderful quotes. And I'm telling you, if you live by these quotes, your life is automatically going to be better. Automatically, if you live by these quotes, I'm telling you. So I have written them down on my tiny little notebook paper. And I am going to go ahead and start with a couple of them. And now some of them I'll ramble on about, like a little story or two about them. So, favorite phrases, okay. The first one is a very important one, and that is don't burn bridges. I don't mean actually don't burn bridges. If you guys do not know what I'm talking about, don't burn bridges means do not ruin relationships. Do not make someone so upset at you there's no going back from it. Think before you speak. Realize, sometimes if we say are going to school with someone and they're not the nicest, do not talk behind their back. Do not let them know that you are not really too fond of them. You're just civil with them. Or at work, if someone, rubs you the wrong way, you're not angry with them, you're not nasty with them, nothing. There's no burning bridges. And that could come back to haunt you if you do burn bridges, because I've had a circumstance where one of my friends, something like an actual verbal altercation with someone, and the person ended up being their supervisor in the future, and it's like, oh, that is very uncomfortable. So my first one is don't burn bridges. Okay. The next one is from my dad. This one he has said over the years. It is totally true. I have passed this on to so many of my friends, my co-workers, my kids, and that is nothing remains static. Nothing remains static. What does that mean? Nothing remains the same. Well, that's very common sense, but when you are waiting for someone, when you're waiting for an answer, when you're waiting for something to happen, when you're waiting for a job to post, whatever the scoop is, nothing remains static. There is not always going to be a dry spell where nothing happens. Sometimes it's like, you're going along, nothing's happening. Well, I might as well go do this, maybe I might as well go do my plan B. I'm not going to wait. Do not do that. Nothing remains the same. It's all hills and valleys, hills and valleys, hills and valleys. So this one is also a big one, especially for younger children or young adults. And that is birds of a feather flock together. Birds of a feather flock together, and that is who you hang out with is who you will become. That's not always the case. I'm not saying every single person, but if you only hang out with negative people, you are going to start being negative. If you only hang out with people that curse all the time, you're going to start cursing. If you only hang out with people that drink, you're eventually possibly going to start drinking. I mean, it's almost inevitable. But typically who you hang out with is who you are like. This is a good one. There is always something to do. I think this is sort of funny, but I have very fond memories of telling my kids this when they would come inside and they'd be like, I'm bored or I'm this. And I would just simply say, there is always something to do. And then I would proceed to get out my like a racy board or something, and I'd start writing down things. And some of them would be chores, so they'd be like, okay, now we're going to find something to do because we don't want to do that. But what I'm saying is there is always something to do. If you don't have are these adults that are saying this? How embarrassing. Their kids are going to grow up and see this stuff. How embarrassing. So think before you post. This next one is slightly religious, but this was life-changing for me when I heard it. I always grew up thinking God will never give you more than you can handle. I bet you've heard that. And I think I've said this in another video before. God will never give you more than you can handle. Until I went to one of my church services years ago, and the minister said, God will always give you more than you can handle. And I was like, what is he talking about? Like, is he gonna joke and say, just kidding? You know? He said, God will always give you more than you can handle, or allow more than you can handle, because that gives you a reason to depend on him. I love this next one. I looked up a bunch of life and positive quotes by unknown authors. This one is a neat one. This says, I'm reading it. This says, live in such a way that if someone speaks badly about you, no one will believe it. That is very nice. It's easy to believe someone that is positive and friendly and kind and wonderful versus someone that has a bad reputation and who is negative and who has lied, etc., like repeatedly. I think that's very true. So live in such a way that if anybody spoke badly about you, no one would believe it. This one reminds me of someone very close to me, and he or she will know what I'm talking about when I say this one. The ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones that do. There are a handful of people that are like, I am going to change this world. I'm going to change this world. I am not one of them. I am perfectly fine appealing to certain people that are on the YouTube channel that are watching me, and I'm trying to be positive. I think I can maybe influence people positively on this channel. The distance between your dreams and reality is called action. That is a good one, guys. That is a great one. The distance between your dreams, what you're thinking and wishing for, and reality, it coming true, is action. What are you going to do to get there? Oh, this is a good one, guys. Whoever is trying to bring you down is already below you. That is a good one if you get it. Okay, I used to talk so much about getting out of debt to certain, people in my group, and they were like, you can't do this, or you can't do that, or you should have this, or you can't never have a credit card, or whatever the scoop is. And they were the ones that were completely in debt. Okay, they were totally not in the same moment that I was in. So I didn't even listen to them because I knew their situations. I'm like, we're not even on the same page. I did not let anything negative influence me because those people are not where I'm at all. Okay. Oh, this is a very good one. Sometimes you will not know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. That is totally true. That is totally true. Sometimes you will not know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. That's totally true. I love it. I just heard this one. We were looking at the brain, like a documentary on the brain, and how different things are processed, and how mental anguish or mental issues can really wreak havoc on you and different things. And one of the guys in this program said, the routine is the enemy of time. It makes it fly by every second. Learning as you get older, the same old stuff. It decreases alertness. I think I messed that up. But basically what it's saying is if you do the same old stuff routine over and over, your mind knows what's coming next. It's not surprised. It's not trying to make little connections, little connections, and being more alert if you maybe, switch up your routine or do new experiences or do something different. That's when you're really alert. That's when you're refreshed. And so I really like that. And you can dwell in a new moment. It just doesn't go by so fast. I do think that's true. Whether you think you are ready or not, in whatever endeavor you wish to start it now. There is magic in action. That is totally true. Sometimes we have things that we really want to do. I really want to do this, and I gotta research, and I gotta do this, but I don't think I'm ready to start. Every single person starts at one. Every single person starts at one, at the very first level, and then they go up. And some people are luckier than others. Some people are definitely more successful in certain endeavors. Some of us think I can do this. Like, I even had grand thoughts about my Etsy store, like taking off, and I was like, I don't even know if I have enough time in the day to be printing out stickers. Well, that was sort of a grandiose thought because I've literally made two wonderful sales, and I'm very, very glad. But I literally was like, this is going to go crazy, and I was so prepared. But my son said something to me that I will never forget, and he said, Mama, I'm proud of you for doing this business, because if you had never done it, you would never know, and you would regret not starting it. So that's true. That's totally true. On the same note of starting things, when you want something done right, do it yourself. Okay, that's primarily like work related. If someone comes up to me and says, can you do this? And I know someone else could do it for me. If it is really important, it has to be perfect. It has to be exact, like, perfectly documented or whatever the scoop is. I am going to do it myself, or I'm going to have to double check someone's, because there's too many times in the past where I've said, oh yeah, this person can do it, and then something messes up, and who is to blame? I am. So when you want something done right, do it yourself. This is from my husband. This I just chuckled at. I snickered. 2 wrongs don't make a right. 2 wrong things do not make a right, but 3 lefts do. At first I didn't even get it. I was like, what? I don't even understand that. I had to process it. 2 wrongs do not make a right, but 3 lefts do. That's cute. Okay. This is another one of my husband. My husband says this all the time, and I cannot remember it until I wrote it down. I had to write it down to remember this. Ready? 6 of 1 half dozen of the other. I can't remember that. I cannot. 6 of 1 half dozen of the other. That basically means the same thing. Now, what he doesn't like that I say, I think it's a pet peeve, but I am right. And some of you are going to go, no, I don't like that either. When something is the same, but it's not really, I say that's the same difference. And he's like, that means it's the same thing. I go, no, if I'm going to see, 2 different sodas, but they're just different brands or whatever, that's the same difference. They're totally different, but they're in the same category or whatever. There's many more examples I can give, but I use that all the time. That's the same difference. That's really not a life phrase, though. That's just a phrase. That is all that I could think of. I looked a bunch up, and there were so many different good ones. use it or you reference it over and over. I just absolutely love these little phrases people come up with. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. There is so much going on this week. I can't even believe it's almost July. I can't even believe it. It's just so darn crazy. Time is going by fast. We went to Busch Gardens today and had a fantastic time. The weather was so superb. The weather was so warm. It was very hot, but wonderful shaded areas that we went to. Stormy weather started coming in as we were leaving. Thank goodness. So not a drop of rain. It was wonderful. We had a great time eating. I had like this big of a pepperoni pizza with some soda, and then I washed that down with iced caramel macchiato at Busch Gardens. It was like the best drink. It was the best Starbucks drink I have had ever at Busch Gardens, of all places. So we had a super, super great time. We brought a couple of friends with us, so it was a big caravan to Busch Gardens. It was really nice. Very, very nice. And we had preferred parking, so we lucked out. We were right up front, just had a sip on in. So we had a fantastic time. My husband and I diverted from the group because it was mainly a bunch of kids and then us, but we diverted from the group and we went to the Elmo area of the park just to reminisce, because we used to bring our kids there when they were much younger. So we just had a fantastic time. I just had the best time ever. But anyways, thank you guys so much for subscribing. I really, really appreciate it. Please consider clicking subscribe and clicking that little notification bell so you can see every single video that comes in. You'll be the first one to see it. Thank you so much again for any donations. I am so excited when I see there's a little thank you button that's right below this video, and you can click to choose, whatever. That means so much to me. Thank you so much for your support on this channel. It just means a lot to me. And you being here and fully watching is another big, huge deal. So I really, really appreciate you guys. I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I hope you guys have a great week. Remember to stop by TikTok and Instagram. Follow me there. See those videos. Leave a comment. If there's any particular video that you would like to see, please leave it in the comments. I still have a bunch of requests that I'm slowly but surely getting to. I hope you guys have a great, great night.